Hello everyone. Who I am is not important. What I'm asking you to do is very important. I'm asking you to stand with me to make a difference and prevent the next mass shooting in America. We've had too many innocent people lose their lives. I don't want anybody to fear going to school, going to college, going to the mall, going to the movie theater, going to work, and fear a lunatic with a gun killing me, killing my family members, or killing my friends anymore. It's got to stop. And I have a solution, or at least part of the solution. It does not involve being pro-gun or anti-gun. It's completely separate. I believe that the people that are for gun rights will agree with me. And I believe that the people that are for gun control will agree with me. This is beyond Republican, Democrat, liberal, conservative, black, white, gay, straight, atheist, Christian, pagan. This is about something you and I can do to help prevent the mass shooting. And it does not require a new law to be passed. It does not require the President of the United States to act. It does not require Congress to act. You and I can do this if we stand together to prevent the violence. I hold the American media as responsible for these killings as the people who pulled the trigger. This latest case in Oregon proves what many of us in our minds already knew. The shooter said he was inspired by the attention given to the other shooters. He was inspired by the guys that went before him and killed innocent people, because their faces and their identities and their stories got plastered all over every newspaper and all over every major news network. This has to stop. I'm not calling for a law to restrict freedom of speech. I believe in liberty 100%. But I'm calling on everybody in this country, as a viewer, even if you don't watch the news, call the networks, write the networks, email them, and demand that they stop publicizing the identity of these shooters. It's got to stop. The minute they post the identity and the story of the first shooter, another one is in the works, being inspired. This is the attention they crave. They're getting that attention, they're getting that outlet, and they're taking innocent lives. And if the media would just withhold their identity on their own, without being forced to do it, have them not publicize the name, not the photo, not the videos, especially not their life stories and the manifestos of these guys. We don't need to know that as viewers. We need to focus on the victims and the tragedies. I don't know about you, but all I need to hear, it's the same story over and over again. Deranged lunatic kills innocent people. I don't need to know whether he was a jihadist or whether he was a disgruntled employee or whether he wrote 10 pages of material. I certainly don't need to know his name or see his face. There's a story beyond that. We can stop the media from doing this. They can make the decision on their own. Some networks are doing it. We're not going to publicize his identity. Too many are. We can demand of the press that they not publish the identities of these shooters. As viewers, we can call them, we can email them, we can write them letters and say, do not publish the identity of the shooter, of the murderer, and if you do, I will stop watching your network and I will boycott it. Furthermore, if they don't listen, we can contact their advertisers, and we can tell their advertisers, if you advertise on this network that is putting the identity of these killers all over the TV, we're going to stop buying your product. This has worked with everything from civil rights to gay rights. I mean, we've seen it time and time again. I've debated the issue myself of boycotting. But it allows the free market system to do its job. The people that make the money on those networks will listen if they're losing viewers and if they're losing advertising. The advertisers will listen if they're losing sales. We need to demand as a population that the media not glorify these killers. They are just as responsible for the death of the next victims of the next mass shooting. Make no mistake, there will be another mass shooting. And that next mass shooter will probably have been inspired by the coverage from this one. Just like this shooter said he was inspired by the coverage given to others. And when that happens, the death of all those innocent victims, their blood will be on the hands of every reporter, every journalist, every network, every press outlet that publicized and glorified this shooter's identity. We've had a big debate lately about conscientious objection. If you're a reporter, refuse to air the name. Tell your bosses, no, I'm not going to do this. Otherwise, you're responsible just as much for the next murder. We can do this if we stand together. Please sign my change.org petition and demand that CNN, Fox News, and MSNBC withhold the identities of future shooters and mass murderers. Stand with me. I'm taking a risk. I'm just an average guy. Nobody may sign my petition, and nobody wants to be the first person to sign something. I'm asking each of you, be that first person. Sign this petition and demand that the media stop publicizing the identity of these killers. We can at least probably reduce the number of mass shootings, if not prevent the next one. You and I can make a difference if we do this. Boycott the networks until they agree to no longer publicize the identities of these shooters. Thank you.